Hello everybody, Captain VFC here for this annual channel-versary video, taking a look back at the last 12 months here at Captain VFC HQ. If you're new around here, this is essentially just a little annual review of all of the kits that I've built, so I will be showing them shortly on my desk behind me and just talking about them. There will be some that will not have appeared on the channel yet, both because the video hasn't been made but the kit has, and because there will be no video. So there are some, shall we say, secret kits. Channel members will probably already know about them. If you're interested in that, there'll be a link down below. But for the rest of you, these are unlikely to have been seen until this video. There will also be some spoilers at the end. By that I mean things that I'm currently building. Yes, there are some exciting things that I've got on my desk. And if you're lucky, there'll be some general rambling about my plans for the next 12 months. So if this is the sort of thing that interests you, then stay tuned. If not, then thank you for watching this far. Goodbye. For me, the only eligible criteria of the kit is that it must have been finished after this video last year. So the 3rd of December, 2024. And it must have been finished before now, before me filming this on the 3rd of December, 2025. Any kits that are made over the Christmas period will not be in last year's video, but they will be in this year's video, and that's just because my first scale modelling video went live at the beginning of December 2022, so I like to do it on that anniversary rather than a true calendar year. So if anyone was going to try and catch me out with that, then ha. And at the time I am talking to you right now, I don't know, I haven't tallied up how many kits I have made this year. So my question to you, before we get started, before we see it, is to quickly drop a comment. How many do you think I have made, as in completely finished, in the last 12 months? And do you think you've made more or less? Because I'd be interested to know, how many kits do you build in a 12-month period? And I know that I'm doing it for the purpose of content creation, but even so, I still have a day job, I still have a life. So I'm intrigued. Pop that down below, grab yourself a refreshment, maybe go to the toilet, and let's get this showcase on the road. At the beginning of 2024, I started this Airfix 1/48 scale Tiger Moth, and yet I didn't finish it until the day after my channel-versary video at the end of the year, end of 2024. So here we are, finally 2 years after the kit was started, featuring it as a finished build. I do have another one of these to build. I haven't done it yet. I probably won't do a specific video on it because there's not much else you're going to gain, but it's very appropriate that I should start this video with a Tiger Moth, because anyone who knows me knows that I love the Tiger Moth. It's not the best job in the world, I know. The yellow's a bit grey and the rigging is a bit simplified, but I had great fun building this. It's a kit I would thoroughly recommend. Next up, and sticking with Airfix, we have two 1/72nd scale Jet Provosts. I bought the newest release of this and made both options by utilising a spare older release that I had because I couldn't decide which scheme I wanted. This is the sort of kit that I could just build whenever I need a mojo build, basically. Whenever I need a little pick-me-up, whenever I'm bored and I'm unenthused by the more complicated projects that I've got, just chuck a Jet Provost together. Thoroughly enjoyable. Long before my obsession with the Tiger Moth, I had an obsession with United States interwar aircraft, primarily Navy and Marine Corps. None more so than the Douglas SPD Dauntless, and this Flyhawk kit, I had been looking forward to it since I first knew that it existed, and I finally picked one up for my birthday and at the end of 2024, and I built it at the start of this year. I absolutely love it. I have another one to build. I have some Hasegawa ones to build. There will be more Dauntlesses. The only reason why I haven't shown them already is because I didn't want to just spam a load of the same plane on the channel. I'd rather keep it diverse. More on that lie that I tell myself later. This year's contribution to French February was this. It's actually a French aircraft because it is the Super Étendard from Dassault. I don't speak foreign, so that's the best pronunciation you're going to get. It is seen here in a decidedly not French scheme. It is, of course, in Argentinian Falklands War colours, but it is a French aircraft, so it does count. This is the old Academy tooling. It's fine. That's it really. It's fine. It could be better. It could definitely be worse, and I'm glad it's not worse. Something to take some stress away from more complicated builds. Not relating to French February, even though I joked that it was, is this fairy battle. The reason why I joked that it was is because it is Belgian. And what is Belgium if not basically France? That's a joke, by the way. I am aware that they are two different countries. I've been to Belgium more than I've been to France. Anyway, this is the Special Hobby Tooling, and this is one that I think everyone should buy. The kit itself is spectacular. This is a contender for one of my favourite kits of the year, although it does have, as you can see, a horrible canopy for masking or hand painting. It's so much. And the decals could be a little bit better, but either way, it's such a recognisable plane, even though it was a little bit of a failure. It's just something that I think lots of people should have. I would happily build another one, although again I always have to be careful with not making just loads of the same plane, because that would be boring for you guys. But yes, highly recommended. We'll see more of this, I think, in future videos, because this will be sitting on the shelf for the foreseeable. Unlike this next aircraft, which is the Seat Flamingo from PM, I bought this because it was the cheapest 1/48 scale aircraft I could find. I wondered how bad it was, and the answer was, there's a reason why it's the cheapest 1/48 scale aircraft I could find. The comment that I make about things staying on the shelf, as things currently stand, I have no room for more shelves, and I have no room for any aircraft on the existing shelves, so things do get put away in boxes, and ultimately they get thrown in the bin. And yes, I know I could give them away somewhere, I know I could try and sell them, but I don't think anyone's realistically going to buy something like this, so this will probably end up in the bin after this video, or at least in a box, because maybe I will try and super detail one. This is shoved full of liquid gravity to make it stand up. It is painted in white and red, the primer flaked. It was a stressful experience, and I don't think I should have bothered. An aircraft that is not directly featured in a video on the channel is this Airfix Messerschmitt 109E. I built this as a little bit of off-camera time. It is a different experience building a model just for yourself and over building it for a video, because you're constantly thinking about getting things in shot. Also got to be thinking about how you're going to edit it, and there's just lots more going on. You've got to position your hands in a certain way to make sure you're not covering things up. So sometimes it is nice to build things just for myself, and this was one of them. I wanted to use a decal set that I bought many years ago, and I just had this lying around and thought, you know what, let's just build it. Done. I do have at least another one of these in the stash, so I will probably do a build video on a newer release of this tool at some point, but I particularly like the fact that you can display it with the bonnet off, and I do hope to put it on a diorama base at some point. For now though, I just have a load of AZ ones to make, also the E-Type, which will be sharing those decals, and I will definitely feature the AZ model one. I've already done an unboxing, it's already on the channel, but I haven't built any yet. But I will definitely make those AZ 109s. But again, trying to stagger things out so I don't just spam you with the same plane multiple times in a month. Again, more on that lie I tell myself later. Generally speaking, the aircraft that I choose to build for myself are from the Second World War or immediate period after or before. So building a modern aircraft like this Eurofighter Typhoon is something a bit different for me. This is built in the scheme of Moggy, and it is displayed, other than now when I've moved it, it is displayed in front of a photo that I took of Moggy at RIAT one year, well, whatever year it was flying like this, 2024, presumably because of the D-Day stripes. And it just adds something visually a bit interesting to my shelf for the very few visitors that I have round who show an interest in this sort of thing. This is of course the Airfix starter set, as you can easily tell by the shadow stand. I like this. I do think it is a bit expensive, and I do think the seam line down the bottom is a little bit annoying, but it's a good kit either way. Very happy with it, and definitely good for something different. And marking the 10th kit in this list, we have an old Airfix Spitfire that I basically got for free, which I painted in this, shall we say, less than camouflaged pink scheme. One day I'd like to add a proper registration code to it, or serial number to it, but for now it just has the registration VFC. Why not? Why not have a bright pink Spitfire? I've been a member of the Airfix Collectors Club for as long as I have been on YouTube, and this is the 2025 kit, which is a captured Messerschmitt 410. Other than having a complete nightmare with the canopy, which is mostly my own fault, I'm not blaming the kit. This was lovely. Now, oh, and the primer. Okay, so yes, the two things that went horrendously wrong that meant I nearly threw it in the bin. But other than that, none of which is Airfix's fault. This is a lovely kit. I do have another Messerschmitt 410, but again, very limited appeal in making two in quick succession, so I did not bother. I've generally always been a 1/72nd scale modeler. However, having a YouTube channel and having just more conversations within the community has pushed me into trying 1/48 a lot more. You already saw the dog crap Seat Flamingo that I made. Well, this was what I did to just make myself feel a bit better. This is the ICM Polikapov I153 in finished colours, and apart from a few fiddly bits around the skis, this was a joy. I have kind of got the bug a little bit, as you're going to see. I've done many more 1/48 scale aircraft, and I've bought a load more as well. No 12-month modelling period would be complete with at least, well, more than one Spitfire, because we've already seen one. Here is the Airfix Spitfire Mark 5C that I built to test a new gallery airbrush, which I think looks really good, and an Armour Hobby Hurricane, because I've heard lots of good things about them, and again, just wanted to try it for myself. Yes, I have another of each of these kits, so for the exact same reason, you probably won't see these again for a little while, at least new ones on my channel. You are starting to get an indication as to how many duplicates I buy. Not necessarily exact duplicates, but same tooling. Even though the video for this Swift has only recently been uploaded, I actually finished this model in the spring, and this just goes to show that I do every now and again dabble in some etch detail. Do see the video if you haven't already. It seems to be quite popular, but if you haven't seen it, then do watch it, because I just go on a little rant about how expensive it is. Also proving I don't just shy away from etch stuff is this Nord Norseman from Dora Wings. It has lots of fiddly, horrible etched bits. Can't say I'm a particular fan of that. What I am a fan of is having this rather uniquely Canadian aircraft sitting on my shelf in its bright yellow scheme. Another one which is highly recommended, and annoyingly there is a new release that I quite like of the Norseman, which I saw the other day online. So it's entirely possible that there will be a second Norseman purchase. Spitfire number 3 is the brand new Airfix TR9, the two-seat Spitfire in 1/48 scale, again demonstrating that I have been branching out a lot more. Yes, it really is this rancid pale green colour. No, I will not apologise for it. This is another contender for my favourite kit of the year in terms of actual assembly of it. Absolute joy. The colour, not so much, but I chose this colour, so I can't exactly blame Airfix for that, and I'm just glad they did something that was a little bit unusual. Another kit which has not yet featured in a video but finished earlier in the year was this Widgeon, which is the Grumman Gosling from Kovazovody Prostijov, so KP. Let me just move it more in the centre, there we go. This is done in Portuguese colours. It was purchased and made for a collab video with another YouTuber that has not yet happened, so it hasn't appeared in a video yet. It probably will. I will spare you the rant that I'm likely to go on about how I feel about this kit. I don't want you to comment on this video now saying how bad it looks. Please be quiet. It disappointed me. It was a stressful time, okay? And another brand new tool that I made this year was this Special Hobby Mosquito. This is the Night Fighter version. So they've released the Photo Reconnaissance 16 and the Bomber 16 I think has been announced, if I remember rightly, and this is the Night Fighter, I want to say 20, or is it 30? It's 20, isn't it? I'm often very bad at remembering specific marks, but hey ho. This kit comes with a mountain of spare parts, so you could almost build a second Mosquito out of it, and it is another love of my life. I love mosquitoes, as you are going to see, to the extent that I have had to stop spinning the display stand to fit in the 1/48 Tamiya Mosquito that I also built. So we're on a 2 Mosquito count. I think this is the 20th kit that I am showing, and the second Mosquito. I'm sure many of you know what is following this later on in the video, but hey, 2 Mosquitoes isn't too bad for now. I had never actually tackled a kit this big before. Yes, physically larger. I've got things like the 1/72nd Liberator, which has a greater wingspan, but this is a relatively large for me, 1/48 scale aircraft, so it was definitely a bit of a challenge. Annoyingly, there is now some silvering on that decal there, which does suck a little bit, but it is nice to have a kit of an aircraft that I love, which shows it off in a little bit more detail than you can get in 1/72. 2025 is clearly the year that I went mad because I bought a selection of 144th scale jets. As I've said, I'm not massively into modern aircraft, and yet here we have an F-15, an F-18, the Eurofighter JF-90, an AV-8B, and a Hawker Hunter. Admittedly, I do like the Hawker Hunter. That has appeared before and is one of my favourite jets. The JF-90 has not, at time of recording, featured in a video. I have only just finished it. It completes this little mini-series of 144th scale aircraft. Would I recommend it? Well, only if you have exceptionally good eyes, and I don't think mine are quite good enough. And yes, I am aware that I put the vertical stabilizers wrong on the F-15. I wasn't at the time of building it, but I am now. Thank you for everyone in the comments who made me feel like an idiot. To be fair though, I am an idiot. Interesting, however, that this is the second F-15 I featured on the channel, and nobody seemed to have the same problem with the first one. Every now and again, I treat myself to a big pile of disappointment, and this Hella P51 demonstrates that very nicely. It is an old kit and it is at best okay. It looks kind of P51-ish, but to be honest, I remember Hella better than I get on with them in the present. So yes, memories of Hella are better than Hella themselves. There are still many P51s that I will be building. I'm staggering them out, but I am doing a slow and gradual P51 build series. One cannot really talk about disappointment without featuring KP. We've already seen one disappointment, and here is another, the P40, and I bought it in a set with the Messerschmitt 109F. Now the Messerschmitt 109 is a lovely kit, absolute joy to build, reasonable detail, no problem whatsoever. The P40, however, well, let's just say I wouldn't recommend it. And moving on to the other aircraft that prove I can be talking out of my backside on a very regular basis, because funnily enough, you've already seen 2 Mosquitoes, and yet here's another 2. That's right, I have built 4 Mosquitoes this year. And no, I'm not about to do a spoiler where I show you another one. This is genuinely it. I'm having a slight Mosquito break for the time being, otherwise I will have to rename my channel Captain DH98. These were completely unplanned purchases because Airfix have turned their old Bomber 16 variant into a target tug because they accidentally scanned, I say accidentally, they scanned a target tug and then didn't remove all the target tug gumph when they first released it. So they have now added the correct target tug winch equipment and some extra guards around the tail. And because I wanted a bomber version as well, that is what I bought. The cookie now lives inside. I showed it in the video detached, but I have since glued it in. And they are Mosquitoes 3 and 4 of the year, and kit 29 and 30 of the year. That's right, we're at 30 kits in one 12-month period. But we are not done yet. Oh no, we have a Moth. We have a DH94 Moth Minor to be precise. This is a 2025 tooling from Special Hobby. I believe at time of recording the unboxing is not released, however it is set to go out. In fact, it might have even gone out today, so you might have already seen that, you might not, I don't know, but there will be a video on this very, very soon, and the build video will be following hot on its heels for December. This is unsurprisingly a kit that I absolutely love because it is a good kit of a de Havilland Moth. The final kit that I have finished this year, a key to use that distinction of finished, is the Airfix MiG-17F Fresco. I started this kit in January 2023, no, sorry, not January, March 2023, when I bought a mystery bundle, and I said on that video that the next kit I would make will be whichever one out of the mystery bundle, and this one. And I did an unboxing and I started making it, and that's as far as I got. Incredibly frustratingly, I put what I thought was too much weight in the nose. I say too much because the sides wouldn't close together properly, so I spent ages giving it some surgery to try and get the nose to close. By the time I'd finally done that, I'd changed the way that I film videos. So I used to use an old webcam, and the quality just simply isn't very good. And the footage that I've got, I'm not proud of. So I can't really put a video out of the building of this particular kit. So, well, I won't be doing that. When I decided to finally get off my backside and move it from the shelf and try and finish it, I chose a green, it's an olive drab that I thought was too dark, and I thought it looked a bit silly. So then guess what? Ended up sitting on the shelf for another few months. I then pulled my finger out again and I mottled it because, yeah, maybe a bit dark, but I'm sure I can still make something of it. The mottling went okay. Then I painted the aluminium underneath, which you can see there. And I got a load of splatter and it went all over that beautiful mottling that I'd done. So it ended up sitting down for a few months again. Finally, I just went for it. I just thought, you know what, whatever it takes, I'm going to get this finished. And I varnished it, put the decals on, built the undercarriage, and recently, as in very recently, finally finished it. And I want to demonstrate this. I was going to say live, but obviously I'm recording it live, as in it's not actually live, but whatever. This is genuinely sitting on its wheels, right? There is nothing holding it up at the back. See? I can get the stick all the way through. There is no blue tack when it comes back round. I'll show you. See? It tilts. No blue tack. No blue tack on the main landing gear. It just happens to have so much weight in it now that even though it nearly destroyed the model, I finally have a MiG-17 that actually sits on its undercarriage. Isn't that impressive? Finally then, and serving as a decent bookend to this showcase of the kits I've built this year, is another Tiger Moth, and it's another 1/48 scale Tiger Moth, but this time it is of course the legendary Mr. Craft Tiger Moth. This kit was bought for me for my birthday this year by my partner because they find it funny to buy me Mr. Craft things. Apparently I need to be more stressed in life, and what better Mr. Craft kit than a Tiger Moth? So I had actually had my eye on this for quite a while. It's not readily available and it's definitely overpriced, but I thought I would give it a go, and here is the result. To the best of my knowledge, this is the last of the kits that I've finished this year, bringing the total to 33. So well done. If you typed in 33 at the start of the video as your guess for how many kits I built this year, congratulations, you win. I don't know what you win, but you win something. It might just be a round of applause. And if you didn't win, please ignore that round of applause. This kit is also a suitable bookend for 1/48 Tiger Moths in general, because we have a demonstration of one which is, shall we say, not brilliant. And you can stick it next to one which maybe isn't brilliant, but is definitely notably better. There we go, just move the camera a little bit. There we go, it's probably going to hit the screen at the back, but never mind. And it's just quite nice to see. Oh, it did hit the screen. There's going to be a there's going to be a disaster. Oh no. Ah. Yes, it's nice to see how far the hobby has come in terms of Tiger Moths. The Mr. Craft one taken in isolation certainly looks okay. Doesn't look like a bad model, but then you look at the finesse and the detail of the Airfix one, and you just feel so much better about where we are in the hobby at the moment. Right, what we're going to do now is move on into spoiler territory, because I want to show off a few of the things that I am currently working on or have in other ways been built this year but have not featured. This is the 1/50th scale Hella Stamp SV4, which I purchased ages ago on eBay. It wasn't a very popular video, so you may not have seen the unboxing, but there is an unboxing if you want to see it. I built this model, or I started building this model fairly soon after that, and just got a little bit frustrated with it. And it, like the MiG-17, ended up sitting to one side for a bit, and then it came back onto the bench and I got through most of it. And then again, it was when the decal started falling apart, it ended up back on the shelf for a bit. And I finally went for a push to get it done. I got the top wing on, and about 90% of the rigging was done when the boss of the house decided that it should be faced with a gravity-related incident. Whilst fixing it is probably only 5 or 10 minutes work, it's still just a bit stressful having to very carefully put a semi-rigged plane back together. It will be finished. I just need to wait till I'm in the right headspace, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I could just do it, but what I could have done instead was just move it to one side and do something else, so that's what I did. But hey ho, the Stamp SV4 does still exist, and it will at some point feature in a video. On the bench right now we have these two models. Now one of them is, well, has been featured on the channel before. It is the Caproni CA100. I don't know why I was struggling to think what it was called then. It's basically another moth. It's an Italian licensed built version of the DH60. It has taken a little bit of a back burner because I needed to buy some pens. I've decided not to brush paint it but to draw on it with some pens. They have now arrived, but it lost its place in the queue to other kits, including the Tamiya Zero that you see rotating. I was working on this just before going live with this video, or live with the recording, you know what I mean. This kit, I've made a version of it before, not with the clipped wings, but I've made a version of this kit before. I absolutely love it. This will be out this month. I like to work a month ahead on videos or thereabouts. I've decided to do an extra push for December to help try and clear my stash, and I've deliberately cherry-picked kits that can be built quickly but still look good, and this is one of them, as is this, which is the Academy New Bedford Whaler. I'm currently working on this as well. I'm not very confident with ships. I'm definitely not very confident with doing wood effect. It's not massive, as you can see, and I've done some work to the deck to try and make it look all right. Hopefully it will make an okay model as a result. Definitely something a little bit different, as you're going to see in the build video if you stick around for that. It's okay. I can't really say too much more than that at this stage, but it is okay. I've been threatening train content for some time because I have a 009 gauge railway that sits behind the desk. In fact, if I don't normally do this, whoop, okay, you can just see bits of it in the corner. So I often build body kits, things like that, rolling stock, nice simple things. Recently I acquired this diesel locomotive. It's 3D printed resin and I'm in the process of painting it, hence why it is now orange. I have been filming this and I do intend for this to be a video. However, I have said that before, including for Gwen, this little red steam engine, which again I did film and has been just kind of sidelined. It needed some nameplates. Well, it didn't need nameplates, but I was waiting for nameplates to arrive because otherwise how do you know it's called Gwen if I haven't put the name Gwen on it? Duh, logic. And it needs some lining, so it's going to have some extra work to it. So it's going to be a lot more effort to get it done, so it will probably wait until January. But I do hope both of these will form the first railway, model railway videos on the channel. Finally, we have another couple of projects that have been on the sidelines for quite some time. This is the Airfix K2Y ambulance and a Tamiya Valentine tank, both in 1/35. I very rarely build armour. However, I like the Contour camouflage scheme, the North African desert, silver, grey, olive green, sand colour type thing. You'd know it if you saw it. So both of these kits will be finished in that scheme, but I find it quite difficult to keep up motivation with armour. Partly when it comes to tanks because of tracks, they're just so tedious, and partly just because I prefer planes, quite frankly. But I have this year been working on the K2Y, not so much the Valentine. In fact, we'll get rid of the Valentine off the turny thing for now. Whoop, there we go. I have built the interior. It's just been brush painted because I decided to do the doors closed. Everything has been primed in black and I do have the paints to be able to complete it. I really want to finish it next year. This is my main goal for 2026, is getting this bloody thing done because I like it. This is what's so annoying. I like it, but I pick it up and go, no, I can't be bothered. So by all means, hold me to it next year. Somebody, you can drop in a comment, where's the K2Y? This has the same problem as the MiG-17, by the way, in that the footage for it is on a webcam, which just isn't good enough. I can't use it anymore. So the rest of the construction has been done off camera. However, I can still do a video of me painting it, which is ultimately what I plan to do. I quite like doing history type videos. I very rarely mention history in videos anymore, but I do like it. And it would be interesting for me to just ramble about Contour camouflage scheme whilst painting this kit. So that's probably what I will do. Obviously, I haven't yet done it. And I lied when I said finally, because we also have, and I think I did this last year as well, the Oster Antarctic, which I've done nothing with. I mentioned before that I lost one of the undercarriage pieces. Yes, I could make a new one, but it's the mentality, same as the stamp, same as the tanks and the MiG-17, is I just got frustrated with it. And when I see it, it just reminds me of that frustration. And when I look at it, and I no longer feel frustrated, but I feel motivated to finish it, at that point, I will finish it. But that point hasn't arrived yet. It's also such a shame that the footage for this was on that webcam, because I scratch built an interior. I did some actual modelling and built an actual interior that represents the Antarctic better than the one provided in the kit, which is just a floor. And you're probably never going to see it unless I build another one. Looking towards the next year then, what are you likely to see on this channel? Well, I've been threatening doing some railway content for a little while. Currently the camera is balanced on a tripod on the platform of a model railway on the floor, so I definitely have the ability to make that content, I just so far haven't. But it will be focused on some kits. There is one that you will have already seen that I'm tempted to do, and one that you haven't seen that I'm tempted to do. So let me know if model railway content is something of interest. Other than that, it will be more of the same. I have a lot of Airfix still to get through. Some of it I've already shown on the channel before, so there's little point in duplicating it, so I'll do that as off-camera builds. And there's plenty of KP, plenty of odd things. There's some vintage kits as well that I intend to show. I don't often show vintage kits, they frustrate me, so why not? But otherwise it will just be more of the same. Oh, and I have some armour as well, some armour that needs doing, so I should probably finally get off my backside and learn how to weather a tank. I tend to work on videos at least 1 month in advance, so everything that I make in December is generally going to air in January, everything in January and February, etc, etc. So I already know that I will be partaking in Ms Modeler's French February for 2026. I've already got the models lined up, I bought some paints, everything is ready to go. I just need to clear out the final December and January builds before I get round to them. Stay tuned to that, and if you don't know what French February is, well, you should. I have something of a trend of making non-French aircraft for French February. Go figure. In fact, all of my contributions next year are not actually French aircraft. But that's it for now. Any suggestions, pop them in the comments below, and don't forget to like if you have liked the video, and if you've made it this far into this video and you do like it and you don't subscribe, why not? Just subscribe. Honestly, you're basically a subscriber anyway. You might as well just hit the button. It makes me look better than I am, perhaps. And you can even become a channel member like the people appearing around me now. As I said at the beginning of the video, I like to share spoilers of kits that are on my workbench as and when they're on my workbench. So the members will know about pretty much all of these. If any of you members don't actually know about one, if one of them was a genuine surprise, then please let me know, because clearly I've not been doing my job properly. But you are greatly appreciated. And if you are interested in joining them, then please do. You'll be welcome. If not, doesn't matter. You've made it. You've watched the video. You've made it this far. I appreciate that anyway. Right, that's me done. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go and make myself another hot drink and finish off another model. And then at some point, I guess, get round to editing the mountain of footage that I've just created for myself. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye. That will do. Jazz hands.